This is Run Tribes, episode 8. Now I'd like to talk to you guys about how do you use a stadium. A lot of us can't necessarily get out to the country or out on trails, and we're city bound, or we're in a small town or a mid-sized town. But there's always a stadium, there's always a track, and hopefully that stadium has bleachers, but it always has the actual stadium, the parking lot, and then the circumference of the facility. So what I like to do is I like to work out exactly what that distance is for the entire circumference of the facility. And then what I do is I jog that once, then right after I'm finished that, I just continue and I pick up the pace on the second time, pick up the pace even more on the third time, and I try and sprint it on the fourth time. So after those 4 laps of the complex, I then jog into the stadium. So I've got a good sense from a visual point of view of how large this thing is. And the good news is that's the longest I run. So once I'm in the stadium, obviously when you're inside on the field, then you're dealing with a smaller terrain. So what can we do with the stadium once we're inside the stadium? So we've got bleachers, and then we've got the field. So what I try and do is I try and do 4 laps of the field. Again, jog, pick up the pace, sprint, flat out sprint. Then I jog to the top of the bleachers and I rest for 30 seconds. I come down those bleachers and I repeat going around the field again. Jog, pick up the pace, run as fast as I can, try and sprint, and go back up the stairs. Rest. So I see how many of those revolutions I can do. Why is that important? If you have a task that involves stadium competition, my strong view is that perspective is really important for a runner. You want your perspective to be wider than the actual competition field. So if that's the case, then you're always going to be ready for any sort of enduring challenges on that field. If you only train on the size of the field, well, then you're probably missing an opportunity to really broaden your horizons as far as your physicality. So 3 things I want to leave you with stadiums. One is, if you train the circumference of the stadium, that's usually larger than most people are going to train. If you test your pace and your speed on the circumference, that will always be more challenging than testing your pace and speed on a track or on the actual field. And then 3 is, if you can complete those revolutions, those endurance revolutions in the stadium, you are literally replicating your longer term runs that you would normally do when you get out on a trail somewhere. So hopefully those stadium tips are useful. I know I use them, and I hope you enjoy them. So have a great run and attack those stadiums. Thank you.